The public hearings of the TRRC. Imam, you have the floor if you can offer some prayers, please.
Thank you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. فلله الحمد رب السماوات ورب الأرض رب العالمين وله الكبرياء في السماوات والأرض وهو عزيز الحكيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Jalal. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God of power and might, the creator and sustainer of all humankind throughout the whole face of the globe, we continue to depend upon your graciousness, your mercy, your sympathy, your compassion, and your love upon all human beings throughout the whole face of the globe. And we continue to submit our sittings of the TRRC to you, and submit all the witnesses that will appear in this sitting, that you shall grant them the willpower to be able to speak the truth with boldness, and also grant the commission the discerning spirits to discern between truth and falsehood. We continue to beg that you grant the population and those that are in the diaspora the patience, the spirit of patience, to allow the due process to take its proper course. And Lord, you being the just judge, we reward each and everyone accordingly. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Bishop Odeko. Councillor, you may proceed if you're ready with this morning's witness.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and members of the audience. Mr. Kambi, kindly bring in the witness, please.
I, BASIRU Say,
man BASIRU Say,
man BASIRU Say,
do swear that
maa ngi waat ne
I'll speak the truth,
dinaa wax dëgga
the whole truth,
dëgga bi yépp
and nothing but the truth.
duma fi wax leneen lu dul dëgga
So help me God.
kon yàlla dimbale ma
Mr. Sy, welcome to the TRRC. Mr. Sy, welcome to the TRRC.
Mr. Sy ñu ngi laa dalal fii ci TRRC.
Thank you for agreeing to testify.
jërëjëf li nga nangu pour ñëw joxe fi sa seede.
You are called to testify about your work in the NIA.
dañ la oo fii pour nga joxe sa seede lu aju ci sa liggéey ci NIA.
Especially the unit that you worked for, special operations.
surtout fànn bi nga xam ne moom nga doon liggéey ñu ko special operations.
And some of the things that special operations were called to do during the period before this current government.
ak it yenn ci nga xam ne ñu ngi leen doon oo pour ngeen def ko ci seen wàllu liggéey balaa nguur gu bees gi di taxaw.
We would also talk about some of the operations that you participated in.
dinañ waxtaanee tamit yenn ci yëngu yi nga xam ne yow sa boppa bokkoon nga ci.
So are you ready to commence your testimony?
ndax pare nga nag pour commencer joxe sa seede.
Before you start, I have to warn you that it is a criminal offense under the laws of this country to lie on the oath.
balaa ngaa tàmbali dama la bëgg a dénku woon la ne luwaa réew mi bu fekkee ne waat nga ba pare nga wax fi lu doonul dëgga bon yàq nga luwaa bi.
It is also an offense to provide false information to the TRRC.
te yàq luwaa tamit pour joxe fi ay xibaar yoo xam ne doonul dëgga fii ci TRRC.
Are you aware of that?
ndax yëg nga loolu.
I know that. Thank you very much.
jërëjëf.
Mr. Sy, give me your full names, please.
Mr. Sy wax ma sa tur ak sa sant.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. maa ngi tudd BASIRU Say.
My name is BASIRU Say.
Place and date of birth?
fan nga juddoo ak kañ nga juddoo.
I juddoo Banjul.
I was born in Banjul,
The 6th of July 1979.
6th of July 1979.
Where did you go to school?
fan nga jàngee school.
I def suma primary school Kampama Primary School.
I did my primary school at the Kampawa Primary School.
I def suma middle school Crab Island.
I went to Crab Island Middle School,
Then ma jeexale Muslim High School.
and I completed at the Muslim High School.
What did you do after completion?
gannaaw boo jeexalee Muslim High School lan nga def.
te dama doon dimbale suma paa bi di jàngale daara si kër gi foofu noonu.
I was assisting my father to teach Quranic. I was helping my dad at the Quranic school at home.
And then, did you take up any government employment?
ndax am na benn liggéey boo xam ne def nga ko ci nguur gi.
waaw.
Yes.
Which work did you do?
ban liggéey nga def.
te si la join army bi Gambian National Army.
After that, I joined the Gambian National Army.
Which year?
ban at la woon.
2001.
In 2001.
When did you discharge from the army?
kañ nga bàyyi ci wàllu liggéey soldat bi.
ci army bi 2001 after ma serve 12 years ma bàyyi on the 13th of February 2013.
I served for 12 years and I was discharged on the 13th of February 2013.
You left at what rank?
Ban mahama nga fa baye?
I left with the rank of corporal.
I left with the rank of a corporal.
During your service, did you happen to travel out of the country to do any work?
Jamono ji nga liggéey ndax mënon nga tukki génn réew mi pour def fa benn liggéey foofu?
Yes, I traveled. I went to a peacekeeping mission.
Where?
Fan?
Sudan, Gamkoy 3.
I went to Sudan, Gamkoy 3.
What do you mean by Gamkoy?
Bone Gamkoy, lulu lum teki?
Gamkoy money
Gambia company?
Yeah, Gambian contingent 3.
Okay.
The third contingent which was there.
Means the Gambian contingent 3.
And when did you, for how long did you serve in peacekeeping?
Peacekeeping, bobu nga defon nonu ñaata appa nga fa am?
For 6 months. It was AU, African Union.
I spent 6 months on the African Union mission.
And which year was that?
Ban at la won?
I believe it was 2006.
I believe it was 2006.
Okay. And when did you join the NIA, having left the Gambia National Army in 2013?
Bi nga baye Gambia National Army 2013 kañ nga bokk ci NIA bi?
I joined the NIA 2015.
You were speaking in Wolof, weren't you?
Well, I joined the NIA in 2015.
I joined the NIA in 2015.
And did you do any training?
No, ben janga bo xam nga def nga ko ci.
Well, basic recruit training in the NIA.
Yes, we had our basic recruit training at the NIA.
When did you finish?
Kañ nga ko jeexal?
After 6-7 months.
That was after 6 to 7 months.
And after completing the training, where were you deployed?
Bi nga matale janga bobu nak fan lañ la ebal pour nga liggéey fa?
Special operation.
Then I was attached to the Special Operations Unit.
We want to understand the structure of the Special Operation and the membership during that time you were there.
Jamono ja nga fa nekkee dañ bugg a xam béréb bi nga wax ne Special Operation la ñan ñoo fa nekkoon?
Who was the leader? Who was the head of Special Operations?
Kan moo jiite woon Special Operations boobu?
OC Lamin Dabo.
Our OC was Lamin Dabo.
What do you mean by OC?
Loo tekki boo ne OC?
Officer commanding.
Followed by who?
Ku ci toppoon?
You have Babukar Sala.
Babukar Sala.
And who else?
You have Tamba Mansare.
Tamba Mansare.
You have Alassane Balde.
Alassane Balde.
You have Jibril Kanyi.
Jibril Kanyi.
You have Aliou Soumare.
Aliou Soumare.
Then you have Echo.
Echo.
I believe it's Louis Mendy or Luis Gomez, something like that.
Proceed.
Egali.
In the same office.
We were in the same office.
And yourself, Basiru?
So I'm not
ak yow ci sa bopp tamit bokkoon nga ci.
Is there a person called Omar Sane?
Dafa am kenn ku ci tuddoon Omar Sane.
am na ñu nekkoon outside bi ñu daan ñëw si office bi Omar Sane.
Omar Sane, there were some who were outside who did not come to the office.
This special ops, the officer commanding, who was he reporting to?
Seen ñooñu nga xam ne ñooy special operations ñooñu ki leen jiite woon moom itamit ci ron kan la nekkoon?
ci ron director general.
The director general.
Who was the director general at the time?
Jamono boobu kan moo nekkoon director general?
Yankuba Baji.
Good. As far as you know,
comme yow fi nga xam ne fa la sa xam-xam tollu.
Mr. Witness, you are under oath.
Seede bi da nga waat.
have an obligation to speak the truth. Special operations in the NIA.
Special operations ci NIA fofu.
What does it mean?
Lan la teki?
What did it represent? What did it stand for at the NIA?
Mom lan moy taxawayam fofu ci NIA.
In essence, what is Special Operations Unit?
Buñ special operation lan la?
Make us understand what that unit is.
Dañ bëgg xam fan bobu nekk ci NIA ñu ko special operation mom lan la teki?
To my own understanding, it was we only do special operations that are ordered to do.
By my understanding, I think we were there to do special operations that we were ordered to do.
Mr. Witness, you speaking in, you're supposed to be speaking
I
apologize.
I
apologize.
Office bi ñun liggéey bi ñu dee sant rek liggéey yooyu nga xam ne la duñ ko dee sant kenn.
I believe our office, what we do is those assignments that are only delegated to us and us alone and not any other person.
And what type of operations would those be?
Most of the time daf dee nekk liggéey yi nga xam ne tamit daf dee jógee si kaw rek suñ aussi dafa dem si DG ñëw si ñu liggéey boo xam ne dafa jógee maybe from the president.
Most of the time our assignments come from the top. Our OC would go to the DG and get instructions, and probably those instructions too must have come from the president.
Why do you think that?
Because ñun doon dugalanteel ñëpp ak ñun daan jël yëpp tamit soo xoolee ñoom président bi ñoo dee jëflante.
The people that we were dealing with and the people that we were picking up, most of the time are people who had differences with the president. Most of them.
This unit, tell us about its work arrangements.
Bunte bobu wax ñu seen liggéey moom naka lañ ko dee tëralee.
What time do they come to work?
Ban waxtu la ñoo liggéey si.
What times do they carry out their operations?
Ban waxtu la ñoo def seen liggéey yi ñu war a def.
ñun moom suñu office boobu man time bu ma fa posé.
The time that I was posted there,
dama daan teel a ñëw trop.
I usually came very early.
Dama daan eewu from Busumbala ma ñëw Banjul fa laa julee fajar sax most of the time.
I travel from Sumbala to Banjul, and most of the time that is where I usually did my morning prayers.
Dama daan teel a jóg because maa ngi toogoon am job after bu ma amee job bi bu ñu post ma special ops maa ngi jël liggéey bi tamit ma fonk ko ba bu ko dee dama dee teel a eewu teel a egga foofu man maa daan njëkk a egga si office bi foofu noonu.
I usually wake up early and get to work. Most of the times I'm usually the first person because for a long time I did not have a job. So when I secured this job, I took it very seriously. When I come there, it's the women I find who are doing the cleaning, and those are the ones I usually find in the office. After it got to a point where even my colleagues said to me that you are usually early.
Because most of the time, don't
most of the time?
Because man S. Every time you don't get tell you, then you time being a new time, you don't get tell don't do good if
I just came.
So good if you don't want to tell a new legacy. I bought 10 or I bought 11.
Okay, I come earlier, so my colleagues said that they noticed that and they said that they made it known to me that I used to come early. But for them, they could not come early because they used to stay longer in work, so they come only around 10.
Is it the case, or was it the case that special operations did their work mostly in the evening?
La daan demee ne bunta boobu special operation seen liggéey li ci ëpp yëpp dañ ko daan faral di def guddi.
Well, no, sometimes du nekk guddi sax waaye mën naa nekk ñu dem bay wàcca rek ñu nañu liggéey. Su ko defee dañu fa nekk beneen and then 4 or 5 hours or something like that.
It's not necessarily in the night, but sometimes we will be there until closing time, and then we will be given an assignment, and that may mean spending an extra 5 hours or so. And sometimes also we will go home and then be recalled back to report.
And as such, your unit, it was normal for the staff to come to work around 10, 11 in the morning.
Bon dal dafa melni yeen seen bunta bobu ngeen doon liggéey jaadu na pour ñu toog ba fukki waxtu wala fukki waxtu benn ñu soga liggéey si.
Ñun moom foofu noonu time liggéey moom on your own time la.
As for us there, you come to work at your own time.
Did the ordinary rules apply to the staff of the Special Ops Unit?
Ndax loolu nga xam ne moo dox noonu ndax dafa umba ñi nga xam ne yëpp ñoo nekk di liggéey ci ron Special Operations Unit.
Comme sarta yi nekk ci office bi sarta yi fa nekk pour ñiy liggéey ñëpp ndax sarta yooyu itam dañ ko daan teg ñiy liggéey Special Ops comme maanaam soo ñëwee suba nga sign book ne liggéey si nga waxtu sangam ak yooyu.
No, ñun moom man dama daan ñëw suma ñëwee ma sign, but after ma gis ne suma boy duñ dee sign ba pare even dem na ba up to a time the security who is responsible of that book mu nekk chief security bu nekk foofu noonu sax daf daan complain lu demee noonu ne ñun duñ dee sign because we don't come on time.
Initially, when I came, I usually signed, but after some time, I stopped because I realized that my colleagues were not signing. It got to a point where even the chief security officer, they have made a complaint that we were not signing.
Special operations, were they treated the same way with people in other units?
Ndax special operation boobu nga xam ne yéen fànn boobu ngeen doon liggéey ndax emale nañ leen ak ñi nga xam ne noonu leen dee jëflante ak ñeneen ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi liggéey foofu te nekkoon ci seen bunta boobu.
Understand what I mean, emale.
I don't understand what you meant by equally.
Are the staff, or were the staff in special operations treated the same way as the staff in analysis or the staff in religious affairs and things like that? Were they treated the same way?
Yen seen fànn boobu ni nga xam ne noonu lañ daan jëflante ak yéen ndax ci benn anam boobu la ñoo jëflante ak yeneen liggéeykat yi nekk ci yeneen bunta yi nga xam ne ngi foofu NIA.
No, yeneen bunta yi moom xamul fa nekk moom definitely. ñu xamoon nu ñu treaté but ñun moom suñu office moom we are well taken care of.
I don't know about other units.
We do our own things on our own time.
But as for our unit, we were well taken care of, and we were allowed to do our own things at our own time.
Were you viewed as special by the NIA?
Ndax yéen waa NIA dañ leen daan gisee ñoo xam ne daal dañ leen berdi ak ñeneen ñi.
waaw ñun moom dañu gisee spécial because ñun suñu daan génn sax nit ñi dem di NIA officers seen bopp dañuy dem ne boo yéen a ngi demaat alkataale ko tenke suñu dee génn sax everybody look at us.
Yes, we were.
suñu dugal suñu génn si lu nekk dañu dee xool.
We were treated special because even when we are going out or coming in, people were always staring at us, and some of them will even make comments and say things like, "You are going again."
Why was that the case?
Lu taxoon loolu daan xew.
xam na ne ñun suñu génnee rek ñu ngi si liggéey ñun suñu génnee rek liggéey la liggéey bi nga xam ne liggéey boo xam ne NTK la kenn warta xam naka la fa taajoo.
When we go out, they know that we are out on work, and they know it's NTK, and nobody knows how to explain that.
What is NTK?
Luy NTK?
mooy loo xam ne kenn warta xam ñun rek ñoo war a xam.
That is something which no other person should know, only us.
NTK would stand for need to know.
Yes.
But your activities, did it instill fear at the NIA?
Yéen seen yëngu yooyu ngeen dee def ndax dinay dugal raklu foofu ca NIA.
dëgg la kañ ñun moom.
Yes.
suñu liggéey moom daf day tiital ñu bari sax. waaw gars yi duñ dee xam ñu ci lu nekk ba pare duñ dee gis suñ activities yi up and down so dañ dee toog di gossip suñ affaire di wax ni gaa yaa ngi si lii gaa yaa ngi si lii duñ xam sax wala dañu dee bàyyi xel bu baax daal.
Yes, it scares people because they don't know what we are up to. They only see us going in and coming out, and they usually gossip about us.
Was it the mystery of what you're up to that instilled fear, or was it the activities, the seriousness of the activities you were involved in?
ndax loolu nga xam ne moom ngeen daan def ñàkk xam gi nga xam ne nit ñi xamuñ woon lan la umba moo daan tax ba nit ñi daan ragal seen mbir wala façon yëngu yi nga xam ne moom ngeen doon def moo taxoon ba indi raglu foofu ca liggéeykat yi.
teg na serious liggéey bi la moo tax.
I think it's the seriousness of the work we do.
And what aspect of your work instilled fear on the part of other operatives in the premises, the NIA?
ban fànn ci seen wàllu liggéey bi moo dee indi raglu ci ñeneen ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi liggéey ci yeneen bunta yi nekk foofu ci NIA.
because ñun suñ dee génn ñu ngi génn suñ moto.
When we are going out, we usually left with our vehicles.
Suñ moto bi is tinted kenn du xam lu si nekk.
Our vehicle is having tinted glass. Nobody knows what is in there.
We don't office, don't analysis, don't office talk, we
don't go to any office, we don't go to analysis or any other office to sit with our colleagues and brew attire or anything else, or even chat with them.
You talk inside,
we are secluded, we are only at our area and doing our work.
That by itself would not instill fear on anyone.
loolu rek ci boppam day mënta indi raglu ci kenn.
waaw xam nga fii moom nit ñi suñ la gisee yaa ngi dugga di génn te xamul ci loo nekk te ñu teg ni yaa ngi garaaw fekkate yow sax yaa ngi def sa liggéey yow xamuloo naka la fa taajoo.
You know, when people see you going up and down and they don't know what you are up to, sometimes they just assume that you are dangerous or something like that.
Mr. C, isn't not really the brutality with which people who come to the special ops were treated, which actually instilled fear, and not the fact that people just see them going up and down?
ndax nekkut ne nag toroxtaane bi nga xam ne moom lañ dee teg ci kaw nit ñi dee ñëw foofu ci seen fànn boobu moo dee tax nit ñi di tiit di ragal seen mbir waaye nekkut ne liggéey yi nga xam ne moom ngeen di def la.
Exactly loolu la because sometimes gars yi dégg ay yuuxu foofu noonu. Exactly because most of the time duñ dee bëgg a def yooyu bëccëg bi waaye am na ñoo xam ni foog ñu understand nga si bëccëg bi noonu so loolu tamit su ko gars yi déggee gars yi dañ ni di wax duñ xam naka la fa taajoo so yooyu yëpp daf dee ragal loolu nit ñi sax ñu ñëw suñu environment.
Exactly, that is it. Sometimes they hear screams from our end, and sometimes we don't even want to do things in the daytime, but in some occasions we have to do that. And so when they hear these screams, they are perplexed, they don't know what is really happening.
Isn't that in fact the reason why whenever your team set out to go on an operations, they tell you, Alberta lekotenke?
ndax loolu rek sax waruta tax be yéen seen kuréel googu saa yi luñ jógee pour génn pour defe seen liggéey rek ñu ne leen ah yéen a ngay demati de.
True.
And why would they say that?
lu tax ñuy wax loolu.
because am na ni ñun suñ génnee suñ duggasee mooy loolu noonu gars yi dañu dégg loo xam ne mooy loolu noonu foog ñu dégg ku ñëw
nañ laaka olof fi mu nekk ñun suñ duggasee gars yi xam nañ ne mooy loolu noonu mooy lan.
mooy ni mooy ne am na kun jëlee o am na kun isi o am na si kun lu nekk loo xam ni daal kenn du xam.
dinañ ko teg mbugal gu métti soo moytuwut.
waaw te soo motuwut dina ko fa kenn du ko gisati dina ko fa teg 2 days 3 days yoo xam ne kenn du xam kana nekk si biir dañoo bëgg a xam kan la duñ mun a xam kan la.
Yes. When we go out they know that we are up to something sinister, and when we come in, they would suspect that we may have someone who would be kept for 2 or 3 days, and because of they not knowing, that used to also add on to the mystery about us.
But would you also agree that the screams even adds to the mystery as to who that is or what is being done?
Foog loone yuuxu yi nga xam ne sax nit ñaa ngi dégg muy bàyyee ko foofu ci seen bunta bi noonu loolu yokk na li nga xam ne tax na ba nit ñi di jaaxle di xalaat kan la doon ak lan lañ fa nekk di def.
Tell me whether I am wrong.
Léegi wax ma mun naa juum.
Would you say that the Special Ops Unit was in fact the junglers of the NIA?
Mun nga wax ne yéen seen bunta boobu ñoo wax Special Operations Unit nekkul ne mooy fànni jongla yi nekk foofu ca NIA.
You can say something like that. Mun naa nekk.
It can be.
Why do you agree with that?
Lu tax nga ànd ci loolu?
Because ñun activity bi rek na def ñun moom xam nga mooy loolu noonu.
This is the only activity that we do.
Action bi rek
ñun xamuñ mooy loolu noonu de.
waaw mooy ni ñun moom xam nga NIA bi gars yi dañoo ñëw
wax ñu naka la fa taajoo.
naka la fa taajoo moo nekk gars yi di men are there different office la waaye ñun ñu ngi gis ne ñun suñu boy yi ñun moom all the time ñu ngi si action.
The men are there.
si action ñun action yi lu gars yi dee lii nii ñun yooyu nañ dee def mooy nekk ñoo dee dem jëli nit yi ñu waaw mission bu ñu dox daal mission boobu danga ko dee complice.
yéen a dee jëli nit ñi.
waaw
yéen a dee dóor nit ñi.
You beat people up.
waaw gars yi dañ dee dóor moom.
They used to beat.
Let me take that back and say it in English. Your unit would be the unit that would go out to carry out the arrest.
Yéen seen bunta boobu yéen ay génn dem jàppi nit ñi indi.
waaw dafa nekk arrest yi nga xam ne dafa nit comme su nekkee koo xam ne dafa resist o mu nekk koo xam ne dañ am ni kii dafa garaaw or dafa something like that daal.
High profile.
These are high profile arrests of
like
persons we suspect will resist or are deemed to be dangerous.
IG, Inspector General, top officers,
people like the Inspector General and other top officials.
And where beatings are to be expected.
Who
would carry out those operations?
So fekkee ne sentu nañ ne nag dóor dafa war a am ñan ñoo ko def.
Well, I'm going speaking isn't for it.
If at all they bring there a person.
Well, ko hamni dafa mum nen soxlon ñu dem jël ko isi ko.
Someone that we wanted and have picked him or her up.
ñoom dañoo dugaa moom si biir su aussi duggee moom si biir jël statement am oo jëm koo neexal wax mu bañ a wax.
They will take the person inside, the OC will go with the person and they try to obtain a statement from that person. If the person is not cooperating, you will go out and tell the boys to give the individual a VIP treatment.
What does VIP treatment mean in NIA language?
Ci làkki NIA soo ne kii ñu ko def comme VIP loolu lu mu tekki.
VIP mun naa nekk ñu monkey dance la squad la yooyu noonu press over yooyu noonu.
could be
ni def na la loolu ba soona yow yaa ngi bañ su ko defee mun na laa tëddal lii la hosepipe bi génn.
They could be in the form of monkey dance, squatting, or press up, and if at all, after all of that you are still resisting, they may lay you on a table and use their hosepipes to lay you.
What do you mean by to lay the person with hosepipes?
Loo tekki ne mu ne dañoo tëddal borom ak hosepipe.
Moo ñu tëddal si table.
They will lie you on a table
tëddal si suuf nii téye la.
or on the floor and hold you.
Su OC génnee mu ne téye leen ko.
When the OC comes out, he tells them to hold him or her. They will hold your legs and your hands, and then the beating will start.
And normally, who would be involved in the beating?
Ñim daan faral di amee ñan ñoo dee bokk ci dóor yooyu.
Dóor yi moom office bi man moom lu ma witness dóor yi ma fekkee.
The way the beatings are witnessed in the office.
Suma office mun naa ne kenn rek laa musta gis mu dóor foofu noonu.
In my office, I can say there is only one person that I have seen not to have beaten before.
Kenn rek laa musta gis moom all the time daf ma de advice since mu ñëwee foofu mu ne ma sëñ Bass bul bokk si lii nii.
He is the only person. Because since I came there, he was advising me, telling me, Serin Bass, do not involve yourself in this.
And who is that person?
mu nekk
kooku mooy kan.
Aliou Soumare,
Tamay aka Tamay.
aka Tamay.
All the time daf ma dee ne boy bul bokk si lii nii.
All the time he tells me, boy, don't get involved in this.
You've given us a number of names.
am na ay tur yoo ñu fi jox.
Lamin Dabo.
Lamin Dabo.
moo dee jiite dóor yi moom.
He leads the beating.
Because kenn du dóor foofu noonu te mu jox la orders pour nga dóor.
Nobody does the beating without him giving you the order.
Because he was, why is that the case? Why was that the case?
lan moo tax mu daan demee noonu.
Because moom moo dee xam loo def ak kan moo ko jox autorité pour mu def loolu moom su ñëwee def lu moo def ba pare mënut a am lu mu bugg si yow su ko defee daf ko génnee si ment ñun ñu ngi toog suñu computer yi téye suñu we are sitting on our decks waiting.
He usually knows what you have done and who gives him the authority. So after
most of the time sax duñ dee xam luy xew sax.
After he does what he does, he comes and
dem éega yow wàccaa yow éeg demate yow ñëwaate yow su demee ba si yàgga mu ne la mu ne boy kii bugut a wax toppatoo leen ko.
he was the one that usually will go upstairs and downstairs with the arrested person, and after some time he will come and tell the boys to deal with the individual.
You've mentioned two significant words or phrases.
Two
significant phrases.
am solo.
Toppatoo leen ko, that is take care of him or her.
Yes.
Give him or her the VIP treatment.
Yes.
benn bi mooy wax ne toppatoo leen ko beneen bi mooy ngeen def ko li ñoo wax VIP treatment.
Are the two the same or are they different in terms of gradation of punishment?
ndax ñaar yooyu yëpp benn la wala ni ngeen leen di mbugalee dañ ëppante.
nga suñu ñëwee pour toppatoo la moom dañoo ñëw pour expérience la jëm laa neexal jëm laa expérience ni yow yaa def lii xam nga.
When we come to,
gisee ni yaa ngi bañ.
if it is taking care of you, we would come and try to talk to you nicely and tell you what your offense is and try to have it easy with you.
But what does talking to the person nicely entail? Does it include threats? Does it include
lan la tekki bu dee wax nga ne dañoo wax ak yow ci waxin bu neex lum tekki daal da ngeen di tiital borom wala lan ngeen koo def.
man su nekkee man suma masque yi man dama laa expérience wala ni suma mag gi yow xam nga fii naka la fa taajoo it's better yow nga wax o nga explain lu da su génn soo bañee wax nag fu nekk su la gaay téye fii dina la yërëm te understand nga
If it is,
noonu laa jéem a raabee jéem laa expérience di la won ni lii moo fi nekk da ngaa wax su nekkee ku dëgër boppam nag ba gaay téye la bu moom di nga wax sax ba wax loo defut.
if it is someone like me, I'll usually come and tell you, my brother, you know, here it's better that you talk and explain what you know. Because if you don't, what will come after that is something that will make people pity you.
You may even say,
what
if
you have not done.
don't stop, you would be beaten mercilessly, and to the extent that you may even say some of the things that you did not even do. That's what he said.
Most of the time, man, understand, since mo ñëwee foofu noonu xamoo ni sa loolu fa nekk.
When I newly came, I did not know that was what happens there.
After the more regret, sa luta guy is mo si office boobu noonu.
Later on, I regretted why they even took me to that office.
Because mënuma understand suma badge bi yëpp man kenn rek ñu génnee ma yóbbu ma foofu noonu special operation.
I could not understand why I was the only one in the entire batch, my batch, that was attached to that unit.
When you were in the army, what special training did you do?
ba nga nekkee ci wàllu army bi yoon façon ni jàng nga xam ne moom nga fa def.
That's my basic recruitment training, and then after my commando course, TGTT commandos.
I did my basic recruiting, and then I did a commando course with the TGTT.
In which part of the army are these commandos generally taken to?
ci ban fànn ci wàllu soldat gi fa lañ dee faral di yóbbu commandos yi.
Commandos, understand me for that?
I don't understand it.
You trained together with a lot of other people who also became commandos like yourself,
yes.
nga jàng nga fa ndoor ak ñu bari ñoo xam ne ñun tam ca mujjanteel ga ñëw nañ nekk commando comme yow.
Yes.
Where were those people deployed?
ñooñu fan lañ leen ebal pour ñu liggéey.
ñun buñ traîner suñ commando course yi ba pare dañu divide.
After
dañu waroon a nekk a base boo xam ne dañoo nekk special unit boo xam ni dañoo use rek when there is emergency but after côté ñu ne non fu ñu tasaare ñu dem SG ñu dem Yundum ñun ñu remain at Fajara am ñu dem training school am ñu dem Navy waaw.
We were, after the completion of our training as commandos, we were supposed to be grouped together as a unit, which was to be used only in terms of emergency. But later, our senior officers decided against that policy, and so we were divided. Some went to the State Guard, some went to Yundum, some went to Fajara, some went to the Navy, others went to the training school.
I remained at Fajara Barracks.
Well, man said, don't know Navy at the beginning. Selama benen koto gene fofu mune bus is from Banjul ki du muna delu wat Banjul liggey Navy.
I was
SG deployed Fajara Barracks.
I was deployed to the Navy initially, but one senior officer said no, bus is from Banjul, and that was so he cannot be taken back to Banjul. So that was where I was taken from the Navy and redeployed to Fajara.
But some of your colleagues, those who were in the same class with, where were they deployed?
ñene ci sa naataango yi nga xam ne yéen ñëpp a nekkoon benn classe bi ñooñu fan lañ leen yóbbu.
am na ñu yóbbu SG.
Some were taken to the
Yundum.
SG.
Fara feñe rek nañ demul commando si.
Some were taken to Yundum.
Isn't it the case that most of them became junglers?
nekkul ne ñi ci ëpp yëpp ñoom dañ far mujjee nekk jonglers.
dëgg la.
Yes, that's true.
And tell us your classmates, your batchmates who became junglers.
wax ñu ñi nga bokkandooroon benn classe bi ñan ñoo ci nekk jongla.
Michael Jatta suma class la.
Michael Jatta was my class.
Fansu Nyabali suma class la.
Fansu Nyabali was my class.
Aliou Jeng suma class la.
Aliou Jeng was my class.
Rambo suma class la.
Rambo was my class.
Rambo, Mustafa Sane.
No, Rambo.
Which one?
Boy, partner Turambi, Rambo la Hogaran OSG dal.
Well, Rambo.
I forgot his name, but that was what he was called.
Rambo and who else?
Ñu jall ñoko nekkon suma way Aliou Jeng, Fansu Nyabali, Michael Jatta. Boy yep suma class ne 24 intake yu nekk ci jongla ci yep suma class ne.
All the members of the 24 intake are my class.
And your unit was also pretty much the junglers of the NIA. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you told us that you were feared. Your unit was feared in the NIA. Whenever you people went out, people would say, Albetale Kotenke, you going again.
Yen sen fan bobu ngeen doon liggéey special operations bobu dañ leen ragaloon foofu ca NIA ba tax na ba saa yu leen jógee di génn rek ñu ne leen yéen a ngay demati de.
Was there an expectation that whenever you guys went out, you would be doing something crazy?
Ndax saa yu nekk dañ daan séntu ne jamono joo leen génnee rek di ngeen def loo xam ne daal lu doy waar lay doon.
Non la ñuy gaay daan gisee waaye nag most of the time du daan demee noonu sometimes dañ dee génn def suñu own def sax uti suñu génne dem uti ndeewo sax dañoo teg ne ñu ngi dem defi dara.
That was the perception, but sometimes that was not always the case. Even when we go out to buy breakfast, they have those thoughts in their minds.
We have received some evidence here, and some people have been mentioned quite a bit frequently. Amba Mansari Babukar Sala. These guys worked at special operations, correct?
Am na ñoo xam ne daal wax nañ fi seeni seede tudda nañ fi ñi ay yoon Tamba Mansare Babukar Sala ndax ñooñu ñu doon liggéey foofu special operations.
Yes, they worked there. I worked there for a long time, but I did not know these individuals because they weren't coming to the office. It was after 6 to 7 months that I came to know them. Behold, they were outside floating.
How about this person called Assassin? We also have information that he was part of special operation.
Naka waji nga xamne ñu ko wax assassin am nañ xibaar ne momi tamit bokkon na fofu special operation.
Otherwise known as for first real name is Lamin Senghor.
Te turam dega nak modi Lamin Senghor.
Lamin Senghor mom fekkuma ko fofu ci office bi.
I did not meet him at the office.
Bo ñew ci office 2005 Tamba la fa fekk ak Sala ñu wala fekk Lamin Senghor mom fekkuma ko fofu degon na ni mu ngi won fofu long time.
When I came to the office in 2005, I only met Tamba and Sala. At the time he had already left.
How about Alaji Moore?
Naka Alaji Moore nak?
Alaji Moore tam fekkuma ko fofu non.
I did not meet him there too.
Now let's talk about some of the operations that you have participated. Let's talk about some of the operations.
I don't understand.
Tell us some of the operations. Ci operations wax ñu ci special operations seen génn yi gaay di dem ak liggéey yi gaay di def nañ door di waxtaanee ak yooyu benn yi nga xam ne fekkee nga ko. But let's start with, at the outset, what was your work? What was your role at special operations?
Ndor fega nak yow mi ci sa boppa lan moy won sa liggéey lan moy won sa taxawaay ci wàllu liggéey bi.
Man since bu ma posé foofu noonu dama ñëw ci office bi ñu introduce my men ci won man ñi ñoo nekk men ci way fi everything is confidential.
When I newly came, I was introduced to the men and I was told that everything that happened inside there was confidential.
Most of the time directive yëpp dafa jógee ci président bi.
And that most of the directives came from the president.
Dafa mel ni ñun special operation bi ñun dañ fa nekkoon rek pour big man bi.
So it looked like we were there as special operatives for the big man.
Did you have any regular contact with the junglers?
Ndax ding daan am jokkoo boo xam ne.
The special operations unit I mean.
Yéen waa special operation unit ndax daan ngeen faral di jokkoo ak ñi nga xam ne ñooy jonglers yi.
Nekk naa fa lu yàgg nag musuma xam ni sa jonglers yi doon dee ñëw foofu noonu.
I was there for a long time, but I never knew that the junglers usually came there.
Well, si case Jokoso bi.
In the case of Jokoso, Abbas Jaju, that was when I saw them coming there in the night.
Because most of the time,
it was not like you were present in every operation. There were some operations which will be taking place while you were in the office but not aware of. And when it's time to close from work, you'll be asked to go home. And if they needed you for any other assignment later on, they'll ask you to stay back and wait. And if you went home also, if they needed you in the night, they will call you and ask you of your location, and they will come and pick you up.
You mentioned this was first operation in which you saw the junglers. Tell us about that operation.
Wax nga fi lu aju ci yëngu liggéey boo xam ne yaa ngi ko doon def fa nga njëkk a gisee jonglers yi wax ñu booba naka la demee.
boobu moo nekk 419 na si ñoom kii nii interaji joko sow bi.
That was the case of the 491ers, the case of Jokoso.
419ers, he said.
419ers. Tapale nit ñi di leen nax ci la ay doomital wala dara ne la li góor la o diamond la o yëreme noonu o ne la dama jël xaalis ay keesi xaalis di la nax daal.
These were the fraudsters who will bring fake, we are dealing with fake diamonds, gold and money.
Yeah, the commission really is not interested in investigating fraudsters or 419ers, as you call them.
Commission bi diga ñoom itelu len lool pour ñu def ay gëstu ci ñooñu nga oyé 419 muy njublang yooyu.
Njublang yeeg tapalekat yi ñooñu du suñ soxla. But we interested in the human rights violations that were occasioned on all Gambians.
Li nga xamne mo ñu itel dal moy yaxa yelle fi nga xamne ñoy doom adama tem tegu won ci ñi képp ko xamne wa Gambia nga.
Including murderers, torturers, thieves, fraudsters, students, housewives, everybody whose rights were violated. That's what we are investigating. So tell us about these people, what happened between them and the NIA. These 419ers, as you call them. By the way, Mr. Chair, 419 is the section in the Nigerian Criminal Code for obtaining by false pretenses. It is the crime of advance fee fraud. That is what is in nowadays in street lingo called 419. Proceed, please.
Lead Counsel,
Lead Counsel, God has blessed me.
Operation yi demee noonu where man fu ma gis human rights abuse moo nekk téye ñoom entourage boobu noonu ñu ñëwoon foofu kees yi xaalis yooyu noonu mooy ñoom joko sow boobu moom fekkee naa case boobu yëpp foofu la ma fekk.
Tell us, God, about that operation and all the atrocities that happened against these people.
Wax ñu li nga xamne mo xewon ci li nga wax ni mbir yi ñoom joko sow ñooñu ak la nga xamne yépp mo fa xew ta warta am.
Waaw ñu doon toog after sun aussi Lamin Dabo mu ñëw mu ñu dafa am yena money tabulas.
We were sitting down. Later, our OC Lamin Dabo came and told us about some money doublers.
Coastal Road.
They were at the Coastal Road.
The team la way am na ñoo xamni ñu ngi wara ñew am na ko xamni ñu ko wara pick ci airport bi am nañ information ne mu ngi ñew Gambia.
That they were a team and there was one that was to be picked from the airport that they got information that he was traveling to the Gambia.
Am na ñu nekk Coastal Road.
There were some at the Coastal Road.
Before after turntable before the Sukuta traffic lights.
One was also at turntable before the Sukuta traffic lights.
One after the other, some pige key, more they watch a key, kitam watch a key, no name def.
So one after the other, when we pick one, the person will name another accomplice, and we pick them one by one.
And tell us about that operation. Give us the full details as to what happened. Who went in that operation?
Legi wax ñu nak liggéey bobu ñoonu yépp yëngu bobu ngeen doon def ñan ñoo ci demoon ñana ci bokkoon.
Man maa ngi woon.
I was there.
Man ma Alassane Balde.
Myself and Alassane Balde.
Jite mu fa woon Jibril Kanyi.
Jibril Kanyi was there.
Jibril Kanyi.
Jibril Kanyi.
Eko tamit mu fa woon.
Eko too was there.
Amay mu fa woon.
Amay was there. We were the ones that went and picked them up.
And by Tamayi, you are referring to Ali Sumare?
So na Tamayi kuku moy ku ñoo wax Ali Sumare.
Where did you go first?
Fan ngeen njëkka dem?
If I can recall,
think first person who is a killer something so.
First person they brought was someone with so name.
So la Santa. Koku mo ñene kesi halisi say mako amé. Joko So.
He was the one who gave us the information that the money cases or suitcases were being handled by Joko So. To call Joko So pour ham location am. And we were trying to negotiate with him.
Then after
and we called Joko So until he told us where he was, and we brought him in.
So
So when we brought him in, we were asking him where he kept the money.
But Momo waste time be for the delay the one no gisut halis jema dangal dal halis bitana Abbas Jaaju Momo halis bi way Abbas bum xamé ni ñu ko soxla.
But he was saying that he was not, he wasn't having a
mistake. Astaghfirullah. Balama Abbas Jaaju nen ni ko apprehend.
It was a mistake. We first apprehended Abbas Jaaju.
Man ma Lamin Dabo.
Myself and Lamin Dabo.
Ali morning Lamin Dabo mama call nema bas fo neka.
Lamin Dabo called me early morning and asked where I was.
I
told him I was in Busumbala.
Meet Airport Johnson.
He told me to meet at the Airport Johnson.
Airport Johnson.
When I came to the Airport Johnson, I found a vehicle there and I boarded. He told me there is someone that we need who is in Kotu.
Before Kotu Power Station.
Before the Kotu Power Station.
A story building on your left hand side.
The yellow story building by the left hand side. He said that was where Abbas Jaju's office was.
Does the building have a name?
I did not see any name.
What other offices are there in the
building? Yes,
when you pass the Elton before you get the Espas Motor.
That yellow story building.
Yellow story building.
Yeah.
How long is the building? How high?
Building.
Maybe 3-story building, something like that.
After the Elton, this next building would be 6 stories.
Something like that. Yes.
But now Elton be good ita be dem na be ci juroom benn tabax.
What is the shape of the building?
Naka la mel bi ñëw
triangle triangle la ni way dafa yaatu dafa taxaw ni ba pare yaatu.
It's spherical.
Spherical, something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
That must be the feature lake building.
Exactly.
Fofu moy tabax bi ñëw feature lake. Waaw fofu la.
Okay. So you picked up somebody there.
Well, what is being modo brief?
But while we were in the vehicle, he was briefing me. He was telling me that Abbas Jaju is a friend to the DG. Now you go and talk to him and bring him. Let him not give you any excuse which will warrant him to escape. Make sure that he comes. He said he was going to park outside, but I will go inside. But once I set my eyes on Abbas Jaju, I must make sure that I bring him along.
Let me ask you, did you guys have a warrant for his arrest? I never saw anywhere where we were shown a warrant. It was not that he told me to arrest him. He said that I should invite him to the office. But you were told that he must come.
Yes.
So didn't that mean that he had to come with you by force? Whether voluntarily or involuntarily?
True.
From what you know, was that in compliance with the law?
No, it was not in compliance with the law.
Okay. Tell us what happened after that.
So I got into the building and I asked the security, and he said Abbas has not yet reported to work, but he was coming very soon.
So fu ma génnee suma téléphone bi ring mu nekk Lamin Dabo mu call ma mu ne ma mu ngi noonu mu ngi dugg si moto mbaane kan moom.
So as I was coming out, I got a call on my telephone, and it was Lamin Dabo, and he told me, there he is, he's just coming in.
So ma bàyyi ko ba mu park ma dem fekk fu mu taxaw bala mu wàcce si moto bi man tamit ma wéef ko mu wàccee weeram bi mu ne ko dama la soxla.
So I followed him and to where he parked his vehicle, and before he could alight, I waved at him, and he wind down his car glass, and I told him, I want to talk to you. And when I realized that the door of the vehicle was not locked, I opened the door and went into the vehicle. That was where I told him, we need you at our office.
Did you identify yourself?
Yes.
I'm
from the office of the president.
Yes, I showed him my warrant card and told him that I was from the office of the president.
That statement is usually your cover, isn't it? You are from the office of the president. It feels like you are innocuous, harmless civil servant who was sent to just come and deliver a letter.
Office of President.
Office of the president, that's the address.
But if you look at it also, that is what contained in our warrant, office of the president.
So after mu comply one office special operation.
When I showed him that, he complied and asked me which office. I told him special ops, and that was when he laughed. At the time he was speaking on the telephone.
But eventually you went to the NIA.
Before we left, he was speaking on telephone with his wife.
DG mama olumi jabaram telephone bungi speaker because Bluetooth la muksi motom bi man ko dega.
The telephone was on Bluetooth and was on loudspeaker, so I could hear him speak to his wife, telling his wife that the DG needed him.
Jabaram ko su DG ne kon jigéen dama ko ne sa chapela.
The wife said to him, if the DG were a woman, I would have accused you, or I would have said that she is your girlfriend.
The Lamin Dabo wax na ma lolu mu ne ma xati DG la.
And Lamin Dabo told me that he was a friend to the DG. And I heard that again inside the vehicle.
Like I said, we're not investigating these people.
Yes.
What we are investigating is their rights which were violated. Okay, we are not investigating them. We are investigating you for how you treated them.
Yes,
so let that be our main focus.
ñu nekkul ne ñoom ci seen bopp la ñu gëstu seen mbir yéen la ñu gëstu seen mbir ci anam yi nga xam ne yaaxa ngeen ñooñu seen yelleef.
ni la ko traité ñu dem Banjul straight.
I treated him like this and we went straight to Banjul.
bu ñu demee ci security su ñëwee foofu dañ dee jël sa téléphone jël sa everything.
When we got to the security, usually when you come in, they take your telephone and everything.
bàyyi ko ci security ci ñu dugaa yow ci biir.
And you leave them with the security, and then they go inside with you.
wate moom bu ma ñëwee saa wala maa wàccaa moom ci moto bi Lamin Dabo koolaan ma mu ne ma téléphone am bi jël ko bu ko bàyyi ci security ci.
So when we came, even before we disembarked from the vehicle, Lamin Dabo called me and told me to take his telephone and not to leave it with the security.
noonu laa jëlee téléphone am yi.
That was how I took his telephones.
ma escort ko suñu office.
And I escorted him to our office.
And of course, the investigation started, as you said. And other people were subsequently arrested. Before the second arrest, did your office do anything to Mr. Jaju?
No.
Abbas the whole day because Mugi one side Lamin Dabo and DG.
Was there for the whole day. In fact, the rest of us did not know what was happening. He was on the side of Lamin Dabo and the DG.
When did the situation change?
That was when it was closing time. That was when we were asked to go and pick up the other person whose surname is So and whose name I have forgotten. I think that was the individual that Abbas gave the materials to.
What materials are you talking about?
Yan bagas nga wax nonu?
A counterfeit, 6 boxy wengi.
These are 6 iron boxes of counterfeit money.
Counterfeit.
False money, you mean?
Yes.
Halis yu baxut nga wax.
What they told us was it was genuine money. They told us that it was a lot of money and it was proper legal tender. That was what we were made to believe.
And what happened?
So when we picked So, behold, So had passed on these materials to Joko So.
After was a problem.
It was difficult for Saul to tell us where Joko So was and where the money was. It was difficult, and that led to him being beaten.
These are the things we're interested in. Whatever it is that Saul must have done or may have done, he has rights. So tell us how Saul was treated.
When we asked him where the things were, he was not prepared to talk.
He was not complying.
And he was not complying. He was not prepared to tell us where these materials were. So when Lamin Dabo brought him, he told us to give him the VIP treatment. So we started having him to do the monkey dance and to do squatting. He did it for some time and then he said he was tired, he could not continue. And he sat down. And we asked him to do some press up.
I hope in your case it's not just so to get some physical exercise, as we were told the other day.
No,
it was not for physical exercise. It was for forcefully
torture.
Well, something like that. So after stretch.
That was the way things are, but later we stretched him.
What do you mean by you stretched him?
We stretched him, some held his feet, others held his hands, and we beat him up.
With what?
Hose pipe.
With hose pipes.
Who was beating?
Lamin
Dabo started the beating. Balde was beaten.
Which Balde?
Balde.
Alasan.
How about Echo?
Echo nak?
Echo too was beaten.
How about Jibril Kanyi?
Jibril Kanyi nak?
No, G
did not beat him there.
But he beat him elsewhere.
Yes, and
then after I beat him.
How about Ali Sumare?
Ali Sumare nak?
Tama did not touch.
How about, okay, Omar Sani was not there. How about Tamba Mansare?
Naka Tamba Mansare?
He was not there.
Sala?
He wasn't there.
So for how long was this guy so beaten?
So during ban apology?
Maybe 15-20 minutes.
Between 15 and 20 minutes.
Because
because that was not the place of beating. Our office was not.
We have our desks and our computers. Our kettle is like an office.
Our place looked like a proper office. We have our desks, our computers, and our kettle.
Cabinet.
You get inside the sitting room and then the main room.
You see, salary the secretary job come jail statement here.
We were in the first room doing secretarial work, taking statements and things like that.
But drill si mom site Lamin Dabo la si cabinet bi.
But the drill is Lamin Dabo's area, which is the inner room.
Drills would suggest exercise.
Yes.
loolu mu ngi tekki tàggat yaram yi ñu doon def.
waaw si biir cabinet bi.
Yes, inside the inner room.
Beating was also part of drills?
dóor bi tamit daf ci bokk.
What is the drills I'm talking about?
You call them drills. So the drill room would be inside Lamin Dabo's office?
foofu la dee dooree waaye foofu yëpp du place yi dooree kay ñoom suñ la bëggee handle properly they take you to invest.
That is where it begins, but that is not the proper place for this type of things. If they wanted to deal with you properly, they will take you to invest.
It's next to all offices. Everybody will know what is happening.
Because that place is close to other offices and everybody will know what is happening.
So no was gonna invest for how quiet is close to the seaside.
But if they take you to the invest, that place is a lot quieter and close to the seaside.
Open, they have everything there.
And it's open, they have everything.
What do you mean by everything?
So ne lu nekk lañ fa am lu mu tekki.
Everything moo nekk yaa ngi am ample space. Boo xam ne garage yaa ngi fa su la neexee doon laa génnee si état bi kenn du la gis sax.
There is
dugal la si biir.
ample space with Bahama grass. If there is a need, they can bring you to the veranda. No one will see you.
And how about the torture implements, the tools? Do they have them there too?
Naka jumtuwaay yi nga xam ne moom lañ leen de mbugalee nag ndax yooyu tam nga fa.
waaw am na jumtuwaay yu ma dégg fii si télé bi waaye man moom dëgg musuma faa gis benn jumtuwaay su passé pour ni bagage yi pour dóor nit la non musuma ko faa gis foofu suñ fa waree dóor nit booy ñoo dee dem ñu improvise uti ay banta ñi uti ay hosepipe ñi dem uti leneen wala pour ni dañ fa am ay bagage yoo xam ni pour dóor rek la non loolu moom gisuma ko fa.
Some torture equipment have been mentioned over television, which, truly speaking, I have not set my eyes on. When it comes to beating, the boys will improvise. Some will go and get sticks, others will use hose pipes. But those things that have been talked about, I have never set my eyes on them.
I know investment is a big hall. We have to paint all red.
But I know that invest is a big hall which is painted red. Now I also saw a little pump there. There were also clips on the wall. I saw those in invest.
How about the torture table, the iron table?
Naka table weñ bi nga xam ne
I did not find it there. Perhaps before I came, they had already removed it.
It was removed in 2017.
From 2017 ci lañ ko fa génnee.
How could you have missed it?
Bon naka nga fexe ba doo ko fa fekk.
Du nan dem invest.
We never went to invest.
Invest moom ñu fa daan dem mooy ñun suñ amee mata boo xam ne daf ñuy disturb.
If we had a matter that was disturbing us, or we could not get anything out of our detainee, our captive,
then they will make their own arrangement. You said then the junglers will come.
They will make their arrangement and select 2 individuals who come in the night, and then the junglers too will come. In fact, they will not tell you there. They will wait until when you go home, and then they will call you in the night and ask you to report back to work.
First day you call me
the first day I was called in the night was that case.
Because most of the time, the modern buga bole is operation good because so we had you know stars la dafa ñu fi di ñu waré di waxali subhanallah yu demé nonu. So modern buga bole.
Initially, they never wanted to get me involved in those operations. But one day,
come to the question. Why stars be dore di door?
No.
You don't take a ball.
When the stars began to do the beatings, they started involving them. Is it?
After Busmo boy knew fufu guy gisma, jonglasi nyabali mama njeka ofu bus.
When my boys came there, the junglers, Nyabali was the one that saw me.
I don't am confidence in man Lamin Dabo.
And called me. That was when Lamin Dabo started to have confidence in me. And that night he called me. He asked me, where are you? And I told him I was in Busumbala, and he said that we should meet at the airport junction.
It was now accepted that you are part of the creed. You are one of the dangerous guys.
Not yet.
I was not yet involved.
Didn't know soldier bus. ñu ne ok kii moom kon mun nañ koo lii nii mun nañ koo trust fu mu nekk.
It was when the soldiers came there and began calling out my name, that was when they said, well,
he realized that you were part of the dangerous guys.
Because I was trained as a commando, but does not mean I'm dangerous. I know my drills. Yeah, I'm not confidence I
think it's the confidence they have that I will be able to execute what they would expect me to do.
Mr. Chair, I guess it's time for the first break. And may I warn the NIA or whosoever is out there not to call the witness and not to try to tamper with the witness. The witness is under oath. He's a witness of the commission. He's here testifying. Let nobody attempt to try to call the witness to try to interfere with him. If that happens, the commission would take it very, very seriously and the necessary consequences would follow. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. But perhaps maybe, Mr. Chair, I would take this step and ask that the witness turns off his phone and surrender it to the commission until he finishes, until he is discharged. Thank you.
Good morning. At this time, Council. We will resume at 12:05.
Mr. Chair, my request. Do you accept, do you endorse my request? Do you order?
Yes, indeed, indeed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Please go ahead. Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned.